All right, the watch list video for Thursday, April 13th, which, quick reminder, the market's closed Friday, so it's the last trading day of the week. And also, I would remind you that on these holiday weeks, volume is light, things whip around, and you cannot take the same size that you normally do. And really, trading's not great. So, with that in mind, man, today I logged in and had, I probably had 300 emails today because our chat room provider it was down, and they were gracious enough to provide an alternative link. So I had to give that to everybody who emailed. I literally got about 300 emails. So if nothing else, I felt proud that we provided good service, because that many people were saying, hey, I can't get in. What do I do? And I think it's still down. So if you're watching this video and you're a member, I think you need to use that alternative link probably again tomorrow. We'll see, and hopefully they get it completely fixed by Monday. So it was a little chaotic today in the pre-market. I still got my daily goal in the first 30 minutes, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but let's go into the watch list here. SPY kind of looks like it's, tried to lose support yesterday and right back up, closing at its highs. It's kind of rolling over a bit, but you can't give a lot of weight to anything on a holiday week. But, keep in mind, it's showing a little bit of weakness. Nothing to make me panic and not build a watch list, right? So CNTF gapped up today. I was watching this for a potential gap and go because it's a low float Chinese play, and those had a big day the other day. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it didn't give any kind of setup that we teach. We want a very specific set of things to happen before we'll get long something like this. It did not meet those criteria, and that's the beauty of having rules, right? It didn't meet our criteria, so it was just a no trade. I still want to watch it tomorrow, though. It had nice volume, closed well below its open and well off its highs. But if the low float Chinese plays get moving at all, this is a good candidate to pop back up. But you do have a lot of people underwater in it that those people that refuse to take a loss. I used to be one of them, so I know all about it. But it's worth having on a chart. Not in love with the setup, of course. ADPT, big volume day, 31 million shares. And if you look at it on an intraday basis, man, look at that. I mean, that's what you call a powerful move. And then the rest of the day, it just kind of grinded lower. Definitely want to have this one back on watch tomorrow. AAOI. Now, there's nothing that compelling. I might have this on bounce watch after coming back down to, where it the low of the day that it gapped up. But I probably wouldn't. But in after hours, this thing's trading at $48.52. I think they reported. So up here, and it's probably got some shorts caught. So certainly worth watching. Hey, I just got a text from Kathy, support for the chat room, and she said they're getting there, might be fixed by the morning, but she can't promise. All right, so there you go. If you're watching this video, maybe try the old method in the morning. If it doesn't work, use the temporary link that you probably got today. And don't email me if the temporary link works, because I don't want another 300 emails. All right, so AAOI might have some shorts caught, gapping up again in after hours, certainly worth watching. NADL, this is the one I got my daily goal on today. Gapped up to here. Now, we don't chase gaps. But it sold off, and I thought, most of these low-priced, kind of what you might call a junk stock, they gap up, and shorts jump all over them, and then they tail off all day. And that's what I expected when this one looked like this. But then when it came back up, I got long, called it long right in here, and really got a nice move. I mean, percentage-wise, the entry idea was just back through the open 335. It went to 389, and I made almost $1,000 on this move. Ended up with a couple other trades plus 1,100-ish, I think, today. But this was really the only trade I needed. Now, it sold off. Let me go back to 5-minute candles. It sold off at the end of the day. You kind of got a gap fill. It's way extended still from the moving averages down here. But it's such a highly watched name right now that if it gives a low risk setup, it might be worth a long. Okay, even though that's not a very bullish chart with that ugly red candle, but sometimes these will surprise you. And again, as I alluded to earlier, I only take these if they give me a low risk setup that makes sense. So otherwise, they just become no trades. That's why you always hear me say, doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. MSDI, this is a little bit weird for me, but you know what? This one had a huge move back here and another huge move here. And then it got some volume the other day and then some volume again today. So watch what happens when I switch to 15-minute candles. You had the gap up and the pop, and it sold off. And then now it's got nice support. And you had a big pop intraday today, again, before tailing off, maybe with the market So it looks like it had news midday. So this one, going back to the daily, got pretty decent support in this area. So if this gets any kind of a low risk setup to the long side, it might be worth a shot. I don't like the fact that it closed all the way back down where it opened, though, after that intraday pop. So that makes me like it a little bit less. PYDS, big move on, let's see, what day is this? This is Wednesday. So big move on Tuesday. Quiet, lower volume inside day, red day today. Worth watching for a turn back up tomorrow. CCCR, low float Chinese play, which had the big pop. Now you're 3 days lower back down to the 8 day. Again, if the Chinese stocks move at all tomorrow, this is a great candidate for a turn back up. DEPO, I had on bounce watch today, and it's a weird bounce play, but I'm really just looking at kind of like the 5 day chart. This had a big pop, couple days lower on declining volume, kind of found equilibrium today, closing about where it opened. So this one goes back. I didn't have a trade in it today, but it goes back on bounce watch or long watch tomorrow. CLNT, another candidate if the low float Chinese stocks move. You had the move up over 1050. Now you're 3 days lower. And then AUXO. This is kind of interesting. Had a nice move back here, nice secondary move. And if you take today's candle out of it, look, I mean, it's like every little pop up, red, 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 red. Sellers coming in. And now you've got a green day kind of up above the last 4 or 5 days worth of trading. Last 4 days, sorry. So this one's interesting, right? So if it gets up over 625 today, it might retest this high of 646 and might break out through that. Not sure what it looks like on the weekly chart. Yeah, so it's near recent highs. So I'm not in love with this one. It's not, most of these days it doesn't move very far either, but this one had an intraday range from 394 to 543, and it's had a couple other big days. Anyway, as I said before, doesn't cost me anything to put it on a chart. I'm not looking for much on Thursday, last day of the week, 3-day weekend, Jewish holiday, light volume. I'm not looking for much. If I can pull in just a little bit of money, I will, but I certainly won't risk having an ugly day by trading with size tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Enjoy the rest of your night. If you don't trade tomorrow, have a great 3-day weekend. We'll see everybody either tomorrow or Monday.